Welcome to Success in Motion. Join us as we dive deep with top leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals, uncovering strategies to grow, scale, and succeed.
Welcome back to the Success in Motion podcast. I'm your host, Alex Burho, and today we're going to be joined by Greg Bushyhead. Greg is the president of a property holding company, as well as Accent Staffing, and Accent Staffing is really his big venture. So, Greg, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, it's great to be here, Alex. I appreciate you inviting me on.
Absolutely. So, Greg, can you just give us a quick snapshot of your company, Accent Staffing, and what you do?
Well, Accent Staffing, we've been around for nearly 30 years. It was founded by my mother back in 1996 here in Tulsa. I was one of the first temps to work a job assignment, kind of work my way up through the ranks. I've done every job here. Ultimately, my mother retired, and now I'm the president, have been for some time, and running our day-to-day operations and making all the changes to keep up with technology, trying to keep ourselves relevant and carve out our niche and what we do. And that's in a nutshell what we do.
Perfect. Can you tell us a little bit about what are you trying to create, or what does the Accent Staffing Company do?
What we do specifically is we help many companies here in the Tulsa metro area find workers, new team members. And we do that through a number of methods. We advertise on job boards, word of mouth, referrals. We utilize our webpage, SEO optimization. Just we incorporate all the technology there is. Same thing as the big guys. We just do it on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
And the positions we do hire for, industrial and clerical, entry level up to middle management. On the clerical side, we're hiring from the front desk all the way into, I would say, middle management, probably the most technical we get. We run some AutoCAD guys and gals. We also do some accounting. I wouldn't say general accounting. We probably don't get much higher than probably a controller. We're not hiring for CFOs or anything like that. That's not what we do.
Yeah.
But we've kept a lot of technology out of our business and what we do, which is the opposite direction of our competitors. Reason being, we do not want to get rid of that human touch. And the way to do that is to continue to have these people come to our office, see us, meet us, shake our hand, sit down across from us, have a conversation with us. A lot of our competitors have gone to strictly online and using the Zoom type platform to interview or onboard folks. That's something that we will never do here. Now, we do absolutely incorporate, we use AI extensively. We use a lot of technology. We still have online apps. Mm-hmm. However, if you want to work for us, or with us, I should say, be a part of us, you need to come in the store and meet us.
Absolutely. And, in this world where technology is so prevalent, I'm sure that human touch is very valuable. So what difference would you say it's made for both the people you're the clients that you're hiring for, as well as the hirees? How has that personal touch influenced this process?
The outcome from the human touch is we're able to build a relationship with people. And if you have a relationship with somebody, you're going to get better results in that relationship. So be a healthier relationship, because it really truly is an employee-employer relationship. And if you're an absentee manager and disengaged manager, you're not going to have that good relationship. Now, how do we know if what we're doing is successful? This is how. Our retention rates for staffing companies off the charts high. Pretty low standard, though, with staffing companies. There's a higher retention because we're typically used on the more entry-level positions, at least in the market that Accent Staffing's in. So that looks like we're probably we hold around the 70% retention rate. which is phenomenal for some companies in certain industries and poor for other companies. But in the staffing game, that is exceptional. So that's the results that we've seen. Now, that saves our companies a lot of money. What we come up against is a lot of pricing. People really want to, it's a race to the bottom with the margins. We've held firm on our margins. We do have to give a little bit here and there to get in, but fairly quickly people recognize that value that we believe that is unique to us. They recognize that value that we bring to the table. Because when we send them somebody new, that is going to double their labor cost and half their output for probably a week. So you cannot have to rehire every Monday for that same position or every other Monday, because then you're cutting a week's production in half and doubling your labor cost. That's a big spread. That's 75% return for your dollar, or 75% less return on your dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just didn't have anybody, you just ran with the guy you had, ran short. So those are some of the benefits we provide to our customers. You know, it's
Yeah,
it's not magic. It's just relationships.
that's awesome. And again, that's amazing that you're able to provide such good value and such good retention. What would you say has been some of the biggest challenges you guys have had to overcome as a company?
Biggest challenge we had to overcome, I would say, over the history of staffing, it's evolved. Back in the olden days, the 90s, early 2000s, you put your ads out in a newspaper and you just sit back, and Monday morning, people start lining up out your door and they come through that door all week long applying for jobs. And for the same time, there were several different points between then and where we're at now where it evolved and changed. But after COVID, we really pivoted hard. People were disincentivized to work. And so I think us holding on, and at the same time, in the staffing business, it accelerated technology as far as a no touch, killed the relationship. Well, we held true to it, but still implemented technology. And that's just really one of the biggest changes I've seen as far as the staffing business in general, losing that relationship and that personal touch.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, I know earlier when we were talking, you mentioned that you are also involved in a few other companies, like a property holding company and a few other things. Can you share a little bit about some of those other ventures you're involved in?
Yeah, we're very involved in real estate investing. The A property holdings, what that is something that we opened in 2001. Thought we were going to go big time into residential portfolio, built one up. We got to about 5 doors and we were hitting home runs with our investments, but monetarily, you couldn't buy a new pickup with your proceeds from a home run and a piece of residential.
Hmm.
So we quickly pivoted back to the commercial side, because in a commercial deal, you can hit baseball terms here, you could hit a single and you can almost buy a house because the numbers are a lot bigger. It's just economies of scale. A lot of people competing in that residential market. And it's a great market for somebody. I'd encourage anybody to cut their teeth in it. It gives you something to really practice on and understand all the concepts, because they'll cross over seamlessly into the commercial side. But that's what a property was, and we've divested of all of our properties. We're down to one there, and then we have commercial assets in another company. Right now, we're starting to redeploy the capital at a property into commercial assets, and have submitted 4 LOIs this year. Got one contract. Inspections did not go well, so that one we're unwinding right now.
Mhm.
But we're always on the hunt for something.
Yeah. And that's a great thing. Again, I like how you guys have diversified a little bit, have a few other things going on. And I know a lot of people are looking at creating streams of passive income or alternate streams of revenue. Seems it's very similar to what you're doing. What have been your thoughts on this creating passive income?
Creating passive income is important to anybody's financial security, in my opinion. It's it's not hard, but it's not fast. I like to tell people, you think you did really good today? Well, I can't tell you if you did or not. We'll just have to wait 5 years and see, because essentially that's what it is with real estate. It's a slow cook. I have one of my mentors, he likes to call it's cooking in the crock pot, not the microwave, is what you're doing here in the real estate game on the passive income, because you really just don't know. You just have to trust in the process. The key is you have to understand the process to, in fact, trust in it. If not, you're just a lot of movement, a lot of action, a lot of energy expelled. Maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Now, for someone who's interested in maybe branching into the real estate world, what tips or tricks would you give for them? Because you said, hey, gotta make sure you know at least know a little bit of what you're doing.
Tips or tricks? Oh, I don't know that there's any tricks. It's such a saturated market. It's fiercely competitive. You have to be patient with yourself. And it doesn't hurt to get in with somebody that knows what the heck's going on. Bring them in, or try to get in on theirs. Uh, be willing to work for free. You, and work on a project with somebody who's already doing it. Mentor underneath them. Because you have two ways to get this education. You can write a check and get it from somebody, or you can give your time. And I don't think it gets any simpler than that. You really got to be committed to this. And if you're willing to give your time, you'll get the education.
And that's awesome. Again, either time or capital, pick which one you want to invest in.
That's it.
I like it. So, as you've done these different ventures, both the real estate, the accent staffing, what would you say have been some of the biggest lessons you've learned from a, president level?
Just because you can do everything doesn't mean you have any business doing anything. You just need to become better time manager, and that hinges on delegation. You can grind yourself into a nub. Sure, I'm faster. I may be better at some things, but it doesn't mean I necessarily need to be doing that. Another thing I've learned, and I want to speak specifically to the real estate. If these guys looking at this, watching this program, get into these houses when they're building out their schedule, how they're going to rehab that house. Also, using yourself builds in a degree of flexibility in your scheduling, because the last thing you want to do is call your plumber on a Friday and say, you're supposed to be here on Monday and work next week, top this out, but I'm going to have to push you out a week because he's already booked out 6-8 weeks. So now, yeah, he goes, not a problem. You've got all next week. Matter of fact, you get the next 2 months to get done whatever it is you need to get done, and then I'll circle back to you. Mm-hmm. So I would say the young guys just need to be mindful of that. That's where I use my skills, is where I know I'm going to need flexibility, where I have question marks in a project. Maybe I'll take on some of those trades, be it electrical, a little light carpentry or something like that. I'll do that myself because it gives me flex.
That's awesome. So is one of your biggest determining methods of what do I delegate versus what you don't, is it based off that flexibility, or what helps you determine what you need to delegate?
It comes down to a little bit of everything. It's ROI, really, what it comes down to, and how do I get there? I know the electrical, certainly my strong suit. I can wire a house. I'm an electrical contractor. So I'll knock the wiring out on a house. I can work on the HVAC. I sub the plumbing out. I don't like plumbing. I'm a licensed plumber, but that's not my thing. I also sub out the demo. I found the demo is just, it's something that you can do. And I think a lot of guys get into this thinking, well, I'll just do the demo myself and save that money. That's some hard work. And it really doesn't require a whole lot of skill and minimal supervision and follow up. So you really need to hire that out because they've got trailers. Those guys are set up. They'll come in with a crew and knock it out in 3 or 4 days. And it just really makes your life a lot easier. Don't get caught up in the little framing jobs. Hire it out. Hire out the sheetrock. That's what I think's what drives me as far as my scheduling and deciding what I'm going to do. I just do what I want, the things that I'm good at.
Do the things that'll bring you the most joy, do the things that you can do the best job, and hire out the rest.
Absolutely.
I like it. So, Greg, as we're wrapping up this interview, a lot of things are going really well for you right now. What exciting things do you have coming down the pipeline in the next year or so?
Next year, so I'm looking forward to acquisition of 1 or 2 more commercial properties. I'm a member of a mastermind real estate group headquartered out of California, Sacramento. We got guys all across the country, Texas to Florida, San Diego, Minnesota, you name it. We've got people. There's 25 of us in this group, and then we've got a new class coming in, another 20 folks, and we just really network and leverage our skills. And where our goal is to acquire a minimum of 1 property per year that generates a minimum of $50,000 in OI.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a financing component in there. You're looking for that arbitrage. So basically, you need a $50,000 arbitrage is what you're looking at on your NOI.
That's awesome.
And you do it for 5 years. That's what we all signed up for. So at the end of 5 years, we're going to have $250,000 NOI from the acquisitions that we look at.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, Greg, thank you so much for your time and sharing your thoughts and tricks with us. If someone wants to reach out and continue this conversation, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of me is gregbushyhead@gmail.com. That's GREGBUSHYHEAD@gmail.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks again, Greg, for showing up today. We appreciate having you on the show.
Thanks, Alex. You have a great one. Appreciate it.
You too, and we'll catch everyone on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning into Success in Motion. Want to share your story? Visit successinmotionpodcast.com/guest to apply and be featured on the show.